Great. Okay, let's start this morning. Let's actually start in a seated position. So whatever's comfortable. For some of us this morning, it could be cross-legged. And if you find that that doesn't feel good, you can actually sit down on your knees. And if that still doesn't feel right, you can always sit down with your legs separated and just get yourself comfortable here for a couple of moments. You can start with your eyes closed. We're going to place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. And starting to breathe nice and deeply. And with the hand on your heart, with every inhale, you're feeling your chest rise. And then you're feeling your belly rise. And then everything contracts. Your belly and your chest. Again, you're breathing in through the nose. You feel your chest rise. You feel your belly rise. And on the exhale, your belly contracts and then your chest contracts. Again, slowly inhaling and exhale. You can release your hands and let your chin fall to your chest. So you keep your shoulders relaxed. And as you bring your chin to your chest, you want to feel what's happening along the back of the neck, at the very base of the skull. You're really creating more space between the vertebrae. You're getting a little bit longer. And on the inhale, you can roll the right ear to your right shoulder. And you're keeping your shoulders relaxed. Try not to let them creep up toward the ears. They stay nice and soft. Now on the exhale, bring your chin to your chest. And on the inhale, you're rolling the left ear to your left shoulder. Keeping that breath nice and steady, keeping that inhale as you rise through the chest, rise through the belly. And then releasing, bring your chin to chest. Inhale, lift your head so that it's back up, nice and straight on top of your head. You can bring your shoulders towards your ears and then roll them back and down. Let's do a couple more like this. Inhale, the shoulders come up. Roll them back and down. Again, inhale and exhale. This time you're going to bring the arms up, nice big stretch. You can interlace the fingers and then push the palms towards the ceiling. Getting a nice big stretch here. You want to feel the shoulders start to wake up. You can even start to bend a little bit from side to side. Feeling the ribs move and slide from side to side. Bring yourself back to center, and then you can place your fingertips on the ground in front of you. Start to walk your hands forward. We're coming into a very mild forward fold. If you feel like this is a really deep stretch, stay here. And if you have a little more openness this morning, you can come down to your forearms and maybe even your forehead. You could also use your palms or your fists and stack them to make a little space for your forehead to rest. Keep your breath nice and steady. So a nice slow inhale. And a slow exhale, slow release. And then start to lift yourself back from this forward fold. You're going to uncross the legs and bring them into a wide leg seat. So you're not coming to 100% of your maximum here. You're actually about 80% of the width that you are able to go. And then again, fingertips to the ground. You actually might prefer to untuck the flesh of the sit bones, untuck a little bit, and then fingertips to the floor. Again, you're walking your hands forward. Now, if you feel like this is a really big stretch, you want to stay here. It's still the very beginning of practice, so be gentle with yourself. Notice what's happening in the feet. You want to flex the feet. And you might even have the feet point back just a little bit towards the back wall. That can feel really nice along the inner thighs, especially if you already have some more flexibility. And again, you could come to your forearms, or you can stay on your hands, or you can also come down to your forehead as long as you're not pushing past that 80% of your maximum. You want to hover in that range. You can sway from side to side. Very often that little bit of movement, that swaying, can feel so supportive on the muscles, the tissues, and all of the cells. They really love that type of movement. It encourages hydration to the cells, encourages more openness and flexibility. Start to bring yourself back into your seated position. Take your hands under your knees and help them together. Nice and supportive. Bring yourself into a tabletop position. So as you come into your tabletop, you want to start with the fingers spread wide. And we'll take a few cat-cows to begin. So lifting your tail, drop the belly, lift your chest and head. Tail, start at the tailbone, round the spine, chin to chest. And again, you're moving in this movement, this very articulate movement. Allowing the breath to determine how quickly or slowly you flow. Now take an inhale, bring yourself into a tabletop, neutral spine, navel to spine, and then shift yourself into a low plank. So walk the hands forward, and you're on your knees and on your hands. And you can look toward the top of your mat. Your shoulders are strong, chest pulls forward, and then slowly come down to your belly for 3, 2, and 1. You can take baby cobra from here. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, release back down. Let's start with a quad stretch, bend the right leg, and take the right hand to the top of the foot. Your left arm can be used like a support. So you can either keep the chest lifted here as you're in your quad stretch, or you can also lower the forehead and use that left arm like a pillow. You want to actively push your hips into the floor. So you might even engage the glutes a little bit as you push the pelvis to the floor. And then think of lengthening that right leg. You're pushing that right knee toward the back of the room. It's like trying to get that bone in the thigh to push and lengthen out of the hip. Take one more breath. Now from here, you can lift your head if it's lower. You're going to release the right foot and bring your arms into a sphinx position. So now your forearms are on the ground, your palms are on the ground. Make sure that your elbows are not too wide. You actually want the elbows at the same width as your shoulders, so they come a little closer. And that same leg, so the right leg now slides up to a half frog position. And then from here, you're pulling the chest forward and lifting the heart. A little sphinx pose with this half frog position in the legs. Starting to feel the hip expand, starting to feel that opening through the groin and the inner thigh. Notice the breath. Slow the breath. Now from here, you can release your upper body first, and then stretch the right leg back. Let's start with a quad stretch on the left side. Bend your left leg. Reach back, hold the top of your foot, and you're using your right arm like support this time. Again, if you prefer to lower your forehead, you can always do that. And then it's all in the minutiae, so the very micro movements here. You're pushing your hips to the floor. You're stretching that left leg, push the left knee towards the back wall. Feel that leg get a little bit longer. And then keep the chest lifted. Try not to collapse the head so that you're hanging the head. You actually want to be nice and open, not only through the chest, but also through the shoulders and the throat. Now release the left leg. Again, bring your arms into your Sphinx position. Palms and forearms on the ground. Your elbows are a little closer than you might think, so they're at the shoulder width distance. And then bring your left leg into your half froggy position. Again, you're lifting the chest even here. And finding a steady rhythm of your breath. For another 2. And another 1. Lower your upper body, stretch the left leg back. Slide your hands down beside the rib cage. Take your baby cobra, lift the heart. And then from here, you're coming to the knees. Let's take a child's pose. Knees wide, toes together, and sit your hips back. Your elbows are lifted off the ground. And imagine sliding your palms forward just a little bit. And as you slide the palms forward, your elbows are lifted. Notice what happens in the low back. You do want to feel a nice stretch there as you push the tailbone toward the back wall. We'll side stretch, lift the head, walk your hands to the right. Put your right hand on top of the left and lower your head back down. And in this side stretch, you're still pulling back through that left shoulder and through the left hip. In fact, that whole left side of your body is expanding. You want to feel the ribs expand with every inhale. Opening that side of the body a little bit more with every breath. Lift your head, walk your hands toward the left. Left hand on top of the right, lower your head back down. And again, really focusing on that whole right side of the body opening. One more breath. Lift your head, walk your hands through center, look toward the top of the mat, and then bring yourself through tabletop position. You can tuck your toes and get set up in your first downward dog of the morning. And as you start to lift the hips, you want to feel how your fingers are spread nice and wide. You're taking up as much space with the hands as possible. You can always start with the knees bent a little bit here and really focusing on getting your spine long. So pushing the sit bones straight towards the sky. You can pedal the heels down one at a time, starting to wake up through the back sides of the leg. And already you might start to feel a little more open here than normal because we have done some release through the inner thighs, we've done some release through the hips. So now waking up the hamstring and the calves. Now, as you inhale, you want to push both heels to the ground. And push a little bit farther through the heels on the exhale. Start by lifting the right leg. On your exhale, bring the knee to nose, round the shoulders, tuck the chin. Inhale, kick back. And on the exhale, step into a lunge position, right leg forward. And we'll set up in warrior 1. So lower the back heel. And then from here, you're in a nice strong lunge stance. You're pushing through the outer edge of the back foot, and you're nice and low in the front leg. You can bring the arms up. You want to feel the heart lift, and draw the right shoulder and the right hip back just a little bit here. On the exhale, you want to cactus the elbows. Squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Again, on the exhale, cactus. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, cactus. Use the muscles in the upper back. Bring your hands behind the back, interlace your fingers, lift the heart. And humble warrior on the exhale, fold forward. Right shoulder to the inner thigh. You want to lift the arms and relax the back of your head. You're still pushing through the outer edge of that back foot, still lunging nice and strong into the front leg. And on the exhale, lower both hands. Frame the front foot. You can turn your back toes so it's pointing forward. And from here, we're stepping into a standing split. So you're getting a little launch. Now your fingertips are on the ground, your left leg is in the air, and you're standing at the top of the mat, standing split. Now from here, you can continue to lift that heel a little higher. If you look at the left toes, you want them to point to the floor, not to the wall. On the exhale, bring your knee to nose, round the shoulders, tuck the chin. Inhale, kick back again. And on the exhale, bring the knee to nose, lower the right foot. Standing forward fold. Take your hands to shins, lengthen the spine, inhale. Chest forward, shoulders back. Fold on the exhale. Bend your knees and rise, bring the arms up, palms together. Little back bend at the top. And then float the hands to heart on the exhale. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, lower the hands to the sides of your body. Come through a flow. Rise on the inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana, come all the way down. Take your halfway lift, hands to shins or fingertips to the floor. And then as you fold forward, step back with your left leg. Plant the hands, and then the right leg, you're in your plank position. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, come all the way down to your belly, either through the knees or straight down. Baby Cobra, inhale, lift the heart. And on the exhale, you can bring it back through your child's pose, knees wide, toes together. And your elbows are lifting off the mat. Look forward, bring it through tabletop, tuck the toes, downward dog, hips high. And again, if you want to pedal the heels, you can push them down one at a time, or you can stay still and push both heels toward the ground. Even here, notice the breath. You want to keep your breath steady, stable. Inhale, lift your left leg. And on the exhale, knee to nose, round the shoulders, tuck the chin. Kick back through the inhale. And then lunge position on the exhale, warrior one. Lower the back heel, bring the arms up. And again, check your stance here. You're pushing through the outer edge of the back foot. Lunging nice and low into the front leg. And then draw the left shoulder and left hip back just a little bit. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Inhale, reach up. Again, exhale. Inhale, lift the arms. Last one, exhale, cactus. Bring the hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, lift the heart. And then fold forward on the exhale. Left shoulder to the inner left thigh, lift the arms. Relax the back of your head. Unclench the jaw if you're holding tension. Lower your hands. You want to step into your standing split, right leg in the air. Again, your fingertips are on the ground. And if you look at the right toes, they're pointing straight to the floor. If they're pointing towards the wall, this means the hips are stacked. And right now, you want your hips square. So the right toes are pointing to the mat. On the exhale, knee to nose. Kick back on the inhale. Again, knee to nose, exhale. And lower the right foot. Take a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Chest forward, belly in. And on the exhale, fold, ragdoll position. Hold your elbows. Relax your head. You can bend the knees or you can straighten them. And again, if you like the movement, you can sway from side to side. Release the arms. And then from here, rise to standing. Bring the arms up, palms together, little back bend at the top. Exhale, hands to heart. You can release your hands. Take a breath in. And fully release. Rise on the inhale. Bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, come down. Take your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. It's time to step your right leg back, plant the hands, and then the left leg back, plank position. Breath in. You can flow here, either Chaturanga or all the way to your belly. Up dog or cobra. And as you exhale, come back into your down dog. Hips high, heels grounded. Now, lift your right leg. On the exhale, bring your knee to nose. Kick back on the inhale. Exhale, knee to right elbow, same side. See if you can touch your knee to elbow. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, lunge position. Warrior one this time, or warrior two, apologies. So your outer edge of the back foot, parallel to the back of the mat, and then windmill the arms up. Warrior two. Look at the front knee and notice, is the front knee over the ankle? If it's knocking inward and it's towards the big toe, you want to externally rotate from the hip so that your right knee is over the ankle. You're nice and strong, arms expanded. And then from here, slide your whole upper body back. Lower the left arm and lift the right, exalted warrior. On the exhale, warrior two. And then from here, straighten the front leg, Trikonasana, slide forward. You can lower that right hand either to your thigh, your shin, your block, or the mat. And your shoulders are stacked, one on top of the next. You're either looking straight ahead of you or towards the sky. Take another deep breath. Now from here, rise again. Turn both feet towards the side of the room. Wide leg forward fold. Bring your fingertips to the ground from here. Now, in your wide leg forward fold, your toes can point in a little bit, the heels can point out. Fingertips are on the ground and lengthen the spine. Inhale, chest forward, shoulders back, belly in. And on the exhale, fold more deeply. Bend your elbows, relax the back of your neck. And feel the head pull. The crown of the head is pulling toward the floor. Now, lengthen again halfway. You want to place the left fingertips on the ground and then reach the right arm up. So you're in your twist here. Now you can keep that right arm extended to the sky if you prefer. You can also bend the right arm and bring that hand around, and you're holding on to your left thigh. So you're continuing to draw the right shoulder back, continuing to twist open in this pose. If your right arm is bent, reach it up, and then forward, and then down. Walk your hands towards your right foot. You're coming back towards your lunge position. And then again, standing split. So fingertips to the ground, lift the left leg in the air. Again, look at the left toes. Your left toes are pointing straight to the floor. Keep the toes pointing to the floor as you lift that heel a little higher. And on the exhale, knee to nose. Lower the left foot. Take your halfway lift, inhale. Chair pose, exhale. Sit the hips back, arms extend forward. You're breathing. Inner thighs are active. Rise on the inhale. Little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath. Release the arms. Rise on the inhale, bring the arms up. Chair pose on the exhale, sit back. Take a deep breath in. Turn the palms out, swan dive, straight back, straight legs. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Step back with your left leg, twisted lunge. Your right hand is on the ground at the instep of the right foot. Sorry, your left hand is on the ground at the instep of the right foot. Your right arm comes to the sky, twisted lunge. And even as you're here, again, you want to feel the right shoulder draw back. You want to feel the chest open, the heart open. Now from here, lower both hands. Step back into plank position. And you can either meet us in down dog or come through your flow. You can modify the flow to your knees. And meet us in down dog when you're ready. Always taking this down dog and using it like a resting pose. You want to feel symmetrical. You want to feel like the weight between your hands and the heels is nice and even. This time lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to left elbow, same side. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, warrior two. Lower the back heel. And again, windmill the arms up. And as you're in this pose, you're pushing through the outer edge of the back foot so that right leg is nice and strong. Left leg, the knee is over top of the ankle. Slide back, release the right arm and open through the left side. Exalted warrior. On the exhale, warrior two. Trikonasana, straighten front leg. Slide your body forward and lower that left arm. You can place it on your thigh, your shin, your mat, or the block, if you have one. And you're reaching the right arm to the ceiling. You even want to feel the neck open as you look toward the sky. Look down, lower both hands, wide leg forward fold. So we're entering the wide leg forward fold from a different position this time. Toes in, heels out, lengthen the spine, and then fold forward, elbows bend. You can lean a little more weight to your toes. Not so much that you lift the heels, but just a little bit more weight toward the toes, lean forward. Now lengthen the spine. This time keep your right fingertips where they are, and then lift the left arm. So you're coming into that twist. Again, if you liked on the other side, you're going to bend the left arm and bring your hand to the right hip or right thigh. And continue to rotate open in this twist. Stretch the left arm, reach it forward, and all the way down. Walk your hands towards the left foot. Point both feet towards the front wall and step into your standing split, right leg in the air. Exhale, bring the knee to nose and lower the right foot. Take a halfway lift, lengthen your spine, belly in, chest forward. And then chair pose again. Sit back, arms reach forward. Rise through the inhale, little back bend at the top. Exhale, float your hands to heart. Take breath in, and then lower the hands on the exhale. Inhale, rise, bring the arms up. Exhale, chair pose, sit back, Utkatasana. Inhale, and then turn the palms out, swan dive, straight back, straight legs. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine, inhale. Step back up with the left leg on the exhale. Sorry, right leg back this time, my apologies, you guys. So right leg back, right hand on the ground, left arm to the sky. Twisted lunge. You're lifting the left arm, you're turning your head towards the sky, and you even want to push that right heel to the back wall. From here, lower both hands and step back into a plank position. From your plank, you can float, Chaturanga, Up dog or cobra. And then back into your downward dog. You want to breathe. Push down through the thumbs and the index fingers. Feel the shoulders widen. Create a little more space between the shoulder blades. Now lift your right leg. This time you're actually going to stack the right hip. So you're lifting the right hip higher than the left. You can point the toe, or you can even bend the knee. Now as you inhale, stretch the right leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to right elbow, same side. Inhale, kick back. Exhale across the body, knee to left elbow. Inhale, kick back. And then lunge position. Step forward. Now this time you keep the back heel lifted. You want to look towards the front of the mat and find a strong lunge in the front leg. And eventually the hands float to the sides of the body, palms facing down. So you're leaning forward. You're looking forward. Lift the back heel and then reach your arms forward. So you're nice and strong. You want to feel that glute on the right leg is active. Nice, take another breath. And then float the hands to your heart. So now the hands are at your heart. Bring your left elbow to your right thigh, we're twisting. Now try not to collapse into that left elbow. You actually want to feel like you're using your left elbow like leverage to twist open and lift the heart. Again, you can look towards the sky. From here, look to the ground, lower both hands, standing split, left leg in the air. Exhale, knee to nose, lower the left foot, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Chair pose, sit back, Utkatasana. Arms extend forward. Rise on the inhale, bring the palms together, a little back bend. Exhale, float your hands to heart. Now release your hands. And we'll start with some balancing. So you want to shift all of your weight to the right leg. And then place your hands on the waist. You can lift your left knee to chest. So from here, you've got this 90-degree angle in that left leg. You can start by releasing the ankle, releasing your toes. And notice that you're using the lower abdomen to hold that left leg up. Now open the left knee and place your foot either on the leg below the knee or on the thigh above the knee, tree pose. And if you're finding that balance is a little challenging today, you can always keep the left toes on the ground. Just avoid placing pressure on the knee, on the right knee. Now as you come into your tree pose, you can start to play around with whatever arm positioning you like. Make sure that you're squeezing the midline connection. So you're even engaging the right glute. You're pushing your thigh into your foot into your thigh or your calf. And then you can play around with bringing the arms up. Maybe bring the arms wide. Maybe even bringing the arms behind the back. Are you breathing? Notice if you're clenching your jaw or if you're clenching the brow bone, can you soften those spaces? Inhale, bring your arms up. Palms together, hands to heart. Now, from here, you're going to continue balancing. So just move back to the front here. Continue balancing. You're going to bring your left knee through center. And then from here, you're tipping forward. So this is toppling a tree, right leg back. Sort of like standing split, but your hands are at the heart. instead of on the ground. Now continue to hold this space, navel to spine. You can float the hands to the sides of the body, palms facing down. And then from here, bend the standing leg, step back into a lunge, and bring the arms up. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Take a little back bend. Exhale, lower the hands, step back into your plank position. Either come through flow or meet us in a down dog. And then once we're all here in down dog, let's take a few breaths. Try to slow your breath down. Now lift your left leg. This time stack the hip. Again, you can either point the toe or you can bend the knee. Really feeling that hip on the left side open. Stretch your leg. And on the exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to left elbow, same side. Inhale, kick back. Exhale across the body, knee to right elbow. Inhale. And on the exhale, step forward, lunge position. Now keep the back heel lifted. Start to lift the chest and the hands move to the sides of the body, palms facing down. You're leaning forward. Lift the back heel and then maybe reach the arms forward. So you're nice and strong through the back leg, strong through the front leg, strong through the core and the arms, very active in this pose. And then from here, bring your fingertips to the ground, standing split, right leg in the air. On the exhale, knee to nose, and lower the right foot down. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, chair pose. Deep breath in and out. Rise on the inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. And then bring your hands to your waist. Take a deep breath. And this time, lift the right knee. Now your right knee is at a 45-degree angle. You can release your ankle, release your toes. And again, open into tree pose. So place your foot at the same height that you did on the other side, always striving for balance. And then once you're here, you can start to play with your hands. You can bring the hands to your heart. You can bring the arms up. You could even work the arms behind the back and maybe bringing them into reverse prayer. Palms together, fingers pointing up. And as always, you want the shoulders to roll back and down. Let's do another 2 breaths. Notice the balance here. Notice if you're wobbling, and that's okay. Relax your jaw. And then bring your arms up. And on the exhale, the hands come to heart. Continue to balance. Bring that right knee through center. And then from here, tip forward. Toppling tree pose. Kick the right leg back. Your hands are at the heart. Lift the chest. Float the hands to the sides of the body. And then step back into a lunge position. Lift the arms, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, lower your hands. Step back into your plank position. And then from here, you can flow or meet us in a down dog. Let's come down to your knees. We'll take a child's pose. You can either do knees wide, toes together, or you can come into a closed knees child pose and sit the hips back. With the knees closed, you might prefer to bring your arms to the sides of your body, palms facing up. Let the shoulders round forward and lower your head. Now reach your arms forward. Come into a tabletop position. Now, before we come any farther, let's take a few free movements here. So sometimes that's going to look like cat-cow. Sometimes it will be more of a circular motion with the spine, maybe side to side. Knowing that there's no wrong way to move as long as it feels good in your body. If you're moving in circles, make sure to change directions, going both ways. And then eventually, bring yourself back into your tabletop, your neutral position. Now, from here, you're going to step your right foot to the outside of the right hand. So from your tabletop, right foot to the outside of the right hand. Let's come straight into a lunge. So you can bring the right hand onto your thigh, your fingers are pointing in, your left hand stays on the ground. Now, try not to stay too upright here. So sometimes what happens is you pull the right hip back. What you actually want to do is lean forward, bring the hips forward. And as you're leaning forward, you want to feel that back leg and back hip open. You want to feel the front hip on the inner thigh open. Now that you've leaned into the legs, lean your upper body away from the front leg. Now, if you want to take your quad stretch this morning, that's more than okay. You can either stay here or you bend the back leg and then bring the right hand back and hold the top of the foot. If you're almost there and it doesn't feel right on the knee, a little trick is that rather than putting all of the weight on the left knee, you actually roll forward a little bit so that the weight is above the knee on the lower part of the thigh. That takes a lot of pressure off the actual kneecap. Now, release the back leg if you've got it, and you're going to take both hands down to the ground. Let's set up in a half split. You're going to keep the leg wide, so both hands are on the instep. And then from here, you're starting to straighten the front leg and bring the hips back. Your arms can either stay stretched forward, or if you prefer to walk them towards you, you can even move your hands however it's going to support you the most. If your arms are reaching forward, you can use this like a nice stretch for the low back. You're flexing the right foot, you're reaching the arms forward, and you're pulling the right hip back. Let's do another breath here. Come back through your lunge position. Let's take Malasana, yogi squat. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, step your left foot to the outside of the left hand. Feet are wide, toes out, heels in, and then sit down. If you come to a half lunge or a half squat and this is your maximum, no problem. Otherwise, come down a little lower. You want to lift the chest. Now, you can either stay here or you can take a side stretch with me. So you're going to place the left fingertips on the floor and then lift the right arm. And you can either stay here or take your bind, which is reaching right hand behind you, left arm around your left thigh. So a few different variations for you this morning. Bring your hands to heart. Fingertips to the ground, lift the hips, and then heel toe the feet together. Let's take a Padangusthasana, so lengthen the spine, lift the belly. into the spine. You're going to lift the heart. And as you exhale, fold more deeply. Index and middle fingers wrap around the big toes. Bend your elbows and relax the back of your neck. So you're holding on to the big toes with the index and middle finger. Your knees can either stay bent or you can start to straighten the legs. Now, release your hands. Again, lengthen the spine, so halfway lift. And then from this halfway lift, you're going to step the left foot back about halfway. So you're not coming into as wide of a stance as normal. We're setting up in pyramid pose. So the left foot is about midway through the mat. You want to keep the fingertips on the ground if possible. And if that means bending the front leg, no problem. And if you are still having troubles touching the ground, you can bring your hands to your waist instead. And you're pulling the right hip back, left hip forward, and then folding. Continue to pull the right hip back, left hip forward. You want to feel as you pull the right hip back, you're getting that nice stretch, not only from the low back, but down through the glute, the hamstring, and even into the calf. Now from here, you can step back into a downward dog. You can take a couple of breaths, pedal it out. If you'd like to flow, you can flow here, or you can come straight down to your tabletop, and we'll all meet in tabletop when you're ready. From tabletop, this time you're going to step your left foot to the outside of the left hand. And again, left hand to the thigh. Your right hand stays on the ground. And then you're leaning in, leaning in, leaning in. And then once you come to that spot where you're feeling like you've got a nice opening in the hips, bring the upper body away. Bring the upper body away from the front thigh. This could be where you stay, or in the back leg, and take your quad stretch. Again, you're not actually on the ball of the knee, you're above the ball of the knee so that you're not putting too much pressure on that joint. And then continue to lift the chest and look towards the sky. Take a few more breaths. If you can, close your eyes. Take a couple of moments with the eyes closed. Very gently release the back leg. Try not to let it collapse from here. And then back into our yogi squat. Right leg to the outside of the right hand. Again, if you're in a half squat, this is great. Otherwise, come all the way down into your full squat. And then from the full squat, you can stay, or right fingertips to the ground, left arm to the sky. And again, another variation, you can either stay here or wrap the arms behind you and come into your bind. If that's not quite possible, but you're almost there, no problem. Continue to play with where you are today. Release the hands, fingertips to the ground, hips high, standing forward fold. Take a halfway lift, lengthen. And from here, you're sliding the palms of your hands under your feet. If that doesn't quite work for you, no problem. You can still hold on to the index and middle fingers around the big toe. And then wherever you are, put a little bit more weight to the toes. Lean forward, relax the back of your head. Your shoulders are nice and soft. Release the hands. And then from here, lengthen halfway. Inhale. You're stepping the right foot halfway back. So again, nice short stance here. Right leg back. And then setting up in pyramid pose. So your fingertips are on the ground, on your blocks, or on your waist. Right hip forward, left hip back. And as you pull that left hip back, you're noticing that whole back or posterior chain of the body. Everything from the mid-back, maybe even into the lung and the rib cage on the left side. You can feel that stretch. Really tune into the micro movements. Downward dog, make your way there. If you'd like a final flow, this will be our last one of today's practice, so you can come through flow, or you can meet us in the middle of your mat, sitting down. And then from here, we'll come down onto the knees. If that's not possible or doesn't feel appropriate, you can come down into your cross leg, just like we started this morning. And then once you're here, you can take one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Close your eyes. You're tuning in, recognizing that even though we move our physical body and we have an intellect and a mind that never stops, our bodies, our heart, our lungs, always working for us. There's always this internal dialogue happening between muscles and tissues and organs. And so collectively, let's take a moment to appreciate this body that functions without even having to ask it to. And simultaneously slowing down your breath, slowing down the rhythm, your breath. You can release your hands and come down onto your back. And once you're on your back, pull your right knee to your chest. You can keep your left knee bent. Now you're going to keep the left foot on the ground and pull the right knee to your chest. Let's take a figure 4 position. So you're crossing the right ankle over the left knee. Now, if you feel like this already feels like a really good stretch, you could actually take the right hand and then push that right knee forward. This is a really nice opener in the front of the hip. If you feel you prefer more of a glute stretch, this is where you're going to pull the knees in. You can hold on to the left thigh or the left shin. Try to keep the back of your head grounded. You want to keep your shoulders grounded as much as possible. And if you're here and you feel like you'd like to go deeper, you can always rock very, very slightly to the left. And as you rock very slightly to the left, pay close attention to the glute. Pay close attention to the dynamic that changes in the hips and the legs. Now come back through center. Keep the legs crossed, and you're going to place your left foot back on the ground. So now you're crossing your right leg over top like you're sitting in a chair. So you're crossing your thighs. Bring your arms into a T-shaped position, palms facing down. So your arms are nice and wide, the shoulders are both grounded. Now from here, move your hips to the right. So it's like a bridge. You want to lift the hips, move them to the right, lower them down, and your knees come down to the left. If you start to make your way into this twist and you think it's a little too much pressure on your low back, simply uncross the legs. Uncrossing them will take some of that pressure off the low back. You don't want to feel like you're in pain. You don't want to feel pressure in the sacroiliac. You want to feel like this is a nice twist. If you're able to go a little bit deeper without injuring yourself. So always, always listen to your body above my guidance. If something doesn't feel right, it's not. If this feels good, and you're feeling like you can sort of melt into your twist, then that's a great thing. Let your head fall open, so you're turning your head to the right. Now bring your head back through center. You want to bring the hips and the knees back through center, nice and slowly. Always transition slowly through posture. Pull both knees to your chest, and then you can hold the left knee in. Place your right leg or right foot on the floor. And then figure four position, cross your left ankle and honor what you did on the other side. If on the other side you prefer to stay here and you're pushing that left knee forward with the left hand, that's great. If you prefer to pull the knees in, that's also great. So find somewhere that you can grow, that you can continue to develop in your practice and in this shape. Again, if you're pretty open this morning and you're in your figure four and you want to go deeper, lean your body to the right just a little bit. And again, pay very close attention. What types of muscles are now benefiting from this stretch? And it's okay if you don't know the muscle names. It's really about simply connecting with your body. And knowing how the tiniest movement, the tiniest change in your position can completely change the way that you practice. It can change what parts of your body open. Bring yourself back to center. Release your legs. Place your right foot on the ground. And then you're crossing your legs like you're sitting in a chair. Arms wide in a T-shaped position. This time, lift the hips. They move to the left. Hips to the left. Knees to the right. Again, if there's too much pressure on the low back, simply uncross the knees. Look to the left. And let yourself melt in this twist. You want to feel your shoulders soften, your belly soften, your low back softens. Bring your head back. You can bring your knees and then your hips back through center. And then you're getting set up in your final pose, your Shavasana, your resting pose. So you can take up whatever amount of space you want. Take up as much space as possible. Let your body relax. You want to be symmetrical. So making sure that your head's not turned to one side. You want to be looking straight towards the ceiling. Of course, with your eyes closed. You want to feel how your feet relax, open to the sides of the room. You want to feel the palms relax, they're open to the ceiling. And settle in to your resting pose.